It's moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. That's going to take this up over the warned area that Michael is scanning along right now. So showing up there along the Coffeyville area as well as 69, the Silitpa area on up towards north of Coffeyville, up towards Bashi and Morven. These are some areas where it will eventually end up. But right now, the rotation area is down here, and looking at it, right past Fruitdale now. Looks like it's a little past Fruitdale. This is the thunderstorm we've been watching, and there is a subtle hook signature going on with this too. So your rotation area is going to be about right there to the south of Highway 56 between Fruitdale and Chatham, and it's moving like this. And then the red outline right through here, this is your storm-based warning. So we're expecting this particular rotation area to be moving up through this polygon, through this area that's highlighted. And looking at it, it's very evident right now on our velocity scope tool or velocity scan. As we switched over to velocity, we've got inbound, outbound velocities that are very strong right here. And so County Road 1 between Fruitdale and Chatham, and Michael's got it highlighted right there. It looks like some strong rotation as this thing is moving through over the western sections of Washington County, and it's going to continue to track between Fruitdale along County Road 1 and then up towards Chatham. So we're watching this very closely here. This is Highway 56, and it looks like this rotation area is going to end up pretty much on the west side or into Chatham proper as it comes up along Highway 17. This is a tornado warning right now for Washington County, and we're tracking it with our storm tracker and looking at the timing. It won't be long, and this is going to be in Chatham. So current time 6:34. We've got this thing in Chatham by 6:41. If you're in Chatham, you need to be in the lowest floor of your home for this potential tornadic activity coming through. You don't want to be in a mobile home or a trailer. If you're in Bigby, you have a little bit more time to prepare, but this warning is including the Bigby area, and that would be by 6:53. So a possible tornado in about 20 minutes in Bigby. It's going to impact St. Stephen's. It's going to get just to the north of Wagerville here, so Bigby, St. Stephen's area, and then eventually up towards Coffeyville if it holds together. It's moving northeast at 55 miles an hour, and some of the times Chatham, Bigby, Coffeyville by 7:05, and then Campbell if it still holds together a little after 7 o'clock, and that's up into far northern Clark County. The warnings that are, the counties that are included in this warning include Washington County, Clark County, and also Choctaw County. And then the red area right through here, this is your tornado warning that's up presently here, and it'll continue to move up over Crocker Highway and County Road 1 and then get into the Chatham area as it tracks on off to the northeast. If you're just joining us, here's what's happening with the weather pattern today. We had a surface warm front come through the area this morning. That destabilized the atmosphere along with daytime heating. Now we've got a surface front coming through, and a low pressure wave has developed along the front in Louisiana. And so the dynamics are favorable for severe weather. We have that level 3 and 4 risk for severe weather. Multiple tornado watches up through 11 o'clock tonight, and all that bad weather that's been to the west of us. This is at a history of producing tornadoes in places like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Now all that is headed our way, and there's really two elements to it. You've got the surface squall line back to the west along 55, and then you've got these isolated cells ahead of the main line that are actually showing more rotation than the stuff to the west. And so all that is coming together in our area, and our atmosphere getting more unstable right now. This is the Milry area right now with a live picture, and so that rotation area is going to get close to Milry. Now we are looking at that rotation area may pass a little east of Milry. So you got Milry right here, and the rotation area is going to move up through Chatham like this, and it looks like it'll pass just east of Milry. Now if you're coming down 17 from Milry, Yarbo and Chatham could get hit by this rotation area. And again, we've seen very strong rotation now. It looks like it's getting very close to 56, which is the road between State Line and Chatham. Highway 1 or County Road 1 is between Chatham and Fruitdale. This thing is now cleared County Road 1, and it's lifting to the north up towards 56. So our area of concern is now over here on the west west side of Chatham, tracking up towards Yarbo. We're going to keep an eye on the Millry area, but it looks like this cell is going to pass a little to the east of that location there. So here's a look at it. There's your rotation area now. It's pulling away from County Road 1, and the rotation area, as we look at the color that is red and the color that is orange, that's going to be your tornado, and it is to the west of Chatham as it continues to move on off towards the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. Another community that could be potentially impacted by this is the community of Jordan. So Jordan's really on the north side of Chatham, and we see that rotation area affecting Chatham and Jordan as it tracks on off towards the northeast. And this thing still looks very impressive right now on radar. If you've been with us throughout the day, meteorologist Michael White joined us at 4 o'clock, and he's been watching this as well. He's running our Storm Tracker Doppler radar. I'm going to send it over to Michael for more on this possible tornado going on in Washington County. Michael.
All right, thanks a lot, Jason. So, yeah, that's what we're watching right now. Is the reason why we're on the air is because we got one active tornado warning that includes parts of Washington and Clark County. Now, Washington County, Chatham, obviously under the gun. That's the highest populated spot of Washington County. And this is going to be the first of several warnings that we have to deal with. This one in particular is going to be ending at 7:15. That's how long this warning goes. But because the main line is still west of us in New Orleans, it's going to be a long night. We're not projecting to see all of the activity done in our area, in the Fox 10 viewing area, till after about 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, because it not only has to get through our Mississippi counties, it has to get through our Alabama counties, and then eventually the counties on the Florida Panhandle. And all of these storms that you're seeing track from the south to the north are all in advance of the main line. As mentioned, the main line is still west of us in New Orleans, but all of these storms that are forming in advance of it have the potential to rotate, the potential to turn tornadic. Not only that, they can produce straight line winds. They can produce hail, and there are going to be several of them. And those of you who are not dealing with rain right now, bear in mind, one of these storms can flare up next to you very quickly, and you've still got to watch out for the main line, which, as we look to the west, is still right out there, just now rolling into New Orleans. Now, once you're on the back edge of that line, for example, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, they're in the all clear. Severe weather threat is over for that section of Louisiana, and within the next hour, it's going to be over for Hammond, and it's going to be over for New Orleans. The Weather Service mentioned that they are continuing the tornado warning till 7:15. They've indicated that hail is possible of up to 1 inch in diameter, and the storm is moving to the north and east at roughly 50 miles per hour. So it is a very fast-moving storm system that is already out of the Chatham area and is now crossing over Alabama Highway 17 around Yarbo and around Jordan, and will continue working its way up Chatham-Bigby Road and roll over the community of Bigby and Silver Cross within the next several minutes. So since this is moving to the northeast at 50, that does not give you a lot of time to get to your safe place. And in tornado warnings, you always hear us mention that term, safe place. What is that? Well, that is the lowest level of your home, away from doors and away from windows. If you live in an apartment complex, you want to get down to the first floor. If you don't live on a first floor, hopefully you are friends with your first floor neighbors. This would be the time to make arrangements to go down there and make that your safe place shelter. Mobile home, none of you need to be in mobile homes tonight. Go back to your mobile homes tomorrow. This type of environment, a straight line wind threat and a tornado threat, is not the kind of night you want to be in a mobile home. You need to be in a foundation-based building. But by tomorrow, the weather is going to be improving tremendously. We do have a new tornado warning that has just gone off, and this one is until 7:30. Let me go back to the watch warning map, and it looks like it's a continuation, or it's an expansion rather, of the tornado warning that was already in play. This one was for, oh, I apologize. Never mind. This was for, that new one is for Choctaw County. It is outside of our viewing area. That one does not impact us. The one that we are tracking, the one that runs from Chatham to Coffeyville, the one you're seeing on your screen, that one does not expire until 7:15. I was looking at the wrong thing on the Weather Service chat. Let's go back to that storm on radar, and you can see just how quickly it's moving. The heaviest rain right over Yarbo, right over Jordan, crossing Alabama Highway 17, and basically hugging Chatham-Bigby Road as it marches its way toward County Road 34. If you know anyone along County Road 34 around Bigby, now is the time to get to your safe place. Get in shelter immediately. As far as the velocity couplet, you can see it's not overly impressive, but we do have some inbound and outbound wind located right here in the community of Jordan and Yarbo. If there is a tornado on the ground, it would be in that general area. Remember, even if there is not a tornado on the ground, you're going to be dealing with intense straight line winds, and you do not want to be outside. You don't want to be driving. You don't want to be on the road. Hopefully, a lot of you got warnings on your phone. You got alerted for this tornado in your area as it continues pushing its way northeast at 50 miles an hour toward the community of Bigby. We'll time that out again with our Fox 10 storm tracker, and as we run this up at roughly 50 miles per hour, you can see it will be to Coffeyville at 7:12, so that does not give you a lot of time. But Bigby, it's going to be to you in about 14 minutes. So it does not give you a lot of time to get into your safe place. Carpenter, it's knocking on your doorstep next. So Jason, as we've mentioned before, this is going to be the first of what is likely going to be several tornado or even severe thunderstorm warnings that will be issued throughout the night.
It's going to be a busy night for us, most likely, unfortunately, here across the Gulf Coast region. And to update you on that warning right now for Washington County, just to talk about some of the specific areas and communities that are going to be impacted by this warning. It's now made its way up across Highway 17, and we've got Carpenter Road here up towards the Bigby area as well. That's Chatham-Bigby Road there. And then we've got Silver Cross, Frankville, and St. Stephen's. These are all different communities that are up in this part of Washington County. They're going to be included in this warning. If it holds together, it makes it across the Tom-Bigby River, which runs down through here between Clark County and Washington County. Areas up above Silitpa, so from really about Mays Crossroads up to Coffeyville and all the way up to Campbell, you're going to be included in this. That's going to be after 7 o'clock if the rotation area holds together, and it may, because the further north these things have gone, the more they've gained latitude, the more unstable the atmosphere is. And so that's getting this thing up away from the Gulf, where you have the stabilizing impacts of the Gulf, and up into the areas to the north where we're that level 3 and level 4 risk, where the dynamics are actually more conducive for tornadic activity. And so this rotation area may continue as a tornado warning through 7:15 up towards McIntyre. Now, if you look to the south of I-10, we've yet to see any severe weather here. We just had a heavier cell pop up here around Grand Bay. So far, so good, but at any time, the southern edge of our area may start to see storms with rotation and could start to see more severe weather, because the main line's getting closer, and as it does, the atmosphere ahead of this is starting to break down and destabilize, and we're getting the storms starting to pop and fire. So Mobile County getting a thunderstorm coming through Grand Bay. That's going to move up through the western side of Mobile County. I mean, you're probably sitting in Mobile saying, hey, it's hardly rained yet, right? And in Baldwin County, we've seen very little activity, but the north is where it's at right now and to the west of us, and it is going to be coming through later on. So if you're just joining us, tornado warning is currently in effect for parts of Washington County and Clark County. It also includes Choctaw County, and our possible tornado right here around Yarborough, and this cell is starting to show a hook signature again in through here, so a tornado could be going on at any time. I mentioned Carpenter Road. So Carpenter Road runs up from 17 to the north up in the direction of Bigby, and right there in the community of Carpenter, that's where we have a very pronounced hook signature on radar. Along with that, we're also showing inbound outbound velocity that is indicating that we do indeed have rotation and possibly a tornado right through there. So we're watching out for a possible tornado and possibly a little gate shear right there. So the Carpenter area under a tornado warning right now in Washington County. You've got Chatham-Bigby Road, you got Highway 17, then you've got Carpenter Road. This thing is basically going to run right up Carpenter Road in northern Washington County. It's going to continue to move to the north, and it's going to head up towards County Road 32, it appears, further to the north. So we're looking at it here, and if we could take this full, I know we're watching it with our storm tracker over there towards Milry, but want the streets as we identify them here, because we want it to be able to stand out on the television set. There's Chatham Bigby Road right there. Here is Carpenter Road. We're also looking up around County Road 34. So heading to the north here, there is Bigby. Here's Kenton, Frankville right there on County Road 31, and then you got Silver Cross. These are some of the communities that are in the heart of this warning. It looks like St. Stephen's going to be a little out of it to the south, but Carpenter Road, Chatham Bigby Road, County Road 34, possible tornado coming your way. It's going to continue to ride up County Road 31, which is the road that leads to the north, up through Frankville and Silver Cross and up to Bladen Springs. And then we've got that hook signature showing up right now on radar as well. There's Bigby, here's Chatham Bigby Road, and you can see that hook signature right there near the community of Yarborough. That is lifting to the northeast very fast forward speed. 50 mile per hour northeast forward speed with this one. There is also a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. That just came down for this cell here. So this is down towards Fairford, and it is tracking towards Reed Settlement and in the Topton area. This is in the south part of Washington County. Just came down. New severe thunderstorm warning. It's going to be effective until 7:30 p.m. for that cell. And with the history of these storms, what we've seen is they'll start out looking like severe thunderstorms, and then as they get further to the north, they develop rotation, and that's when we've seen the tornado warnings issued. South Washington County, severe thunderstorm warning. That's tracking towards Jackson and Clark County. North Washington County, tornado warning, hook signature, well-pronounced rotation through and around Carpenter Road and tracking up here just to the west of Chatham Bigby Road. And our storm tracker is out there on Highway 17 right now, coming down from Millry. So we've been watching this with our storm tracker, and that we're going to be sending a crew down 17 where that rotation area, I believe Lee Peck is in that storm tracker. He's not in the path of this rotation area. We're also looking for debris in here too. Meteorologist Michael White is cycling through our different tools that are available to us with dual pole radar for looking at the possibility of any debris that may be going on with this system here as it moves to the north. And that is some strong rotation coupled with a hook signature on radar. At the minimum, I would expect that it's producing a wall cloud type signature as it moves through northern Washington County. It's definitely producing severe thunderstorm style winds. So to the northeast of Yarborough, we are looking at a tornado warning, and that tornado warning has been continued 7 miles southeast of Millry. We're just getting the new information from the National Weather Service. So 7 miles southeast of Millry and moving 7 miles north of Chatham. So that's showing us exactly where Michael has it identified right now, moving northeast at 55 miles an hour. And so, Frankville on County Road 31 is right in line for this one here. Silver Cross is right in line to have to potentially deal with this tornado. It may skip across southeast Choctaw County, cross the Tom-Bigby around Coffeyville. We really got to watch out in Coffeyville and on 69, just on the south side of Coffeyville, because it's going to move just like this to the northeast, and that's going to bring it up towards Campbell once it crosses Coffeyville. We've got it in Coffeyville at 7:06, Frankville 6:56. So in about 6 minutes, it should be in Frankville, Silver Cross area about the same time. Then Coffeyville by 7:06, then 7:22, getting up towards Campbell and Bashai and Morven here in northern Clark County. Eventually, Thomasville could be impacted if it holds together. So current situation here on Fox 10 News, we're likely going to be going well into the night with coverage of potential severe weather. We're in a very unusual level 3 and level 4 risk zone on a scale of 1 to 5 as far as the overall severe risk. We are looking at a rotating thunderstorm which is capable of producing a tornado. In fact, just got this in from the National Weather Service that the rotation area is intensifying as it's heading very close to Frankville. So Bigby's here. We've got a possible tornado right there. It looks like it's going to come right across the Bigby or a little bit over on the west side of town. Just got a new volume scan coming in, so now it's placing this. Remember that fast forward speed? We get these updates about every minute or two with these fresh volume scans coming in. Very quickly, it's jumping up right on top of County Road 34, right into Bigby, and it's going up County Road 31. 1, which is this road right here, and that's going to take this possible rotation area right over Frankville, and you've got Silver Cross is about right there, and then Frankville's about right here. It's going to track across Frankville and move up into extreme northeastern Washington County. Then right here, this black line is the dividing line between Clark County and Washington County, and that's the Tombigbee River right there. So we're expecting this storm to move up. It will clip part of southern Choctaw County, and it's going to cross the Tombigbee River right there and come out into Clark County somewhere around Tatlersville and Coffeyville. So tornado warning up right now, Washington County, for a tornado that is possibly occurring. It has not been confirmed. It is a Doppler radar indicated tornado, and that warned area is in red. So if you see this area of red and you say, hey, that road goes right by my house, that's you. And we've got it in Frankville right now, Bigby and Frankville. We've got it going across the Tombigbee, then on the south side of Coffeyville and in Coffeyville proper, and on the east side of Coffeyville. Highway 84, you've got Salitpa Creek over here too, so it's going to run real close to that, and you've got Wynn Road too, which comes up from Wynn and leads back up here to 84, and then you've got the McIntyre community. These are all areas in Clark County that are potentially going to be impacted by a tornadic cell as it moves towards the north, and then it'll continue tracking up towards Thomasville. Further to the south, this orange box, if you're wondering what that is, that's a severe thunderstorm warning for this cell here, which is also potentially exhibiting a little bit of rotation right now near McIntosh. It too has a bit of a hook signature to it, and each storm that pops up now is running into that environment that is favorable for tornadic development. So we're going to have to watch each one of these. I mean, you see what's a severe thunderstorm right now could easily become another tornado warning in 10 to 15 minutes time, perhaps even less than that, as that cell is moving up towards Highway 43. Still better off to the south so far. We do see a pretty prominent area of rotation to the north, but to the south, these are not rotating yet. To West Mobile we go. Dawes and Grand Bay just got a real heavy downpour there. These cells will have to be monitored, especially once they get up into the central and northern parts of Mobile County. They just came in fresh off of the Gulf, but we saw this trend over our Mississippi counties earlier. We had a cell near Ocean Springs. By the time it got up into George and Greene counties, it was potentially tornadic and definitely a severe thunderstorm too. So we're watching everything beginning to break down, destabilize, starting to see the showers and thunderstorms intensify as they move across the region. All right, team coverage here on Fox 10 News. I'm here with meteorologist Michael White. We're watching the situation very closely, Michael, and it looks like that cell there making it up into far northeastern Washington County. What's the latest from what you're seeing from the Storm Tracker Center?
Well, as of now, Jason, basically everything that you had already mentioned seems to be going and playing out with the speed, the movement of the storm, that it's continuing to move into the northeast, although it has decelerated slightly. The tornado is working its way toward it's moving at about 45 to 50 miles an hour right now. It is expected to expire at 7:15. But as we've mentioned previously, once that tornado warning is gone, there's going to be several others, because we still have the main line west of us in New Orleans that has not even approached Jackson, George, or Greene counties, which are the three farthest west counties in our area, and it still has to go through those counties before it gets into our Alabama counties and then into our Florida Panhandle counties. So this is going to be a night where we're probably going to be breaking in and moving out, with tornado coverage likely till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. This is just going to be one of those nights like it was on Friday during the daytime. We had that first round of severe storms, and this is late March. Now, we expect to see this kind of thing in the springtime. This is peak tornado season. It's kind of like when you have tropical weather and hurricanes in late August and early September. That's the peak of the hurricane season, right around Labor Day. Late March and into early April, you're in the peak of the tornado season. So to end up seeing these types of severe weather threats is normal for this time of the year. We also have another tornado season, as most of you know, around November and December. So this is unfortunately something that if you've lived on the Gulf Coast a while, you expect to see. That's why you've always got to be prepared for when this kind of day shows up. You got to have a way to get those warnings, have a way to know where your safe place is, know where to go, know how to watch our coverage, because we'll stream it on the app and on Facebook Live throughout the night every single time a warning appears. Now, the tornado warned part of the storm looks like it is exiting Washington County, but getting ready to move more into western Clark County, right around Coffeyville. So anyone in Coffeyville, as we get ready to approach 7 p.m., you need to be in your safe place right now, because this is an inflow notch right here, and your possible tornado would be right there around Frankville. We'll look that up with the velocity display, and sure enough, right there in Frankville's where you got the tight velocity couplet. Your inbound and outbound wind is right there. So Frankville, you are under the gun right now for a possible tornado, as that's going to be lifting its way to the north and to the east, right around Tatlersville and Coffeyville. Remember, this storm is moving fast at 55 miles an hour. That does not give you a lot of time to get in your safe place. You cannot wait until the tornado is already over you to seek shelter. You need to make sure you're doing it now before the storm gets to you. And for the rest of you that are watching, you need to make sure you understand that we got a ways to go before the storms end. So all these storms you're seeing in Mobile County right now that are flaring up, producing heavy rain and lightning, all of those cells are ahead of the main line. The main line is still to the west of us, rolling into New Orleans. Now, once you're on the back edge of that line, for example, if you're in Baton Rouge or Slidell, your severe weather threat is over. But for us, it's just now starting to ramp up. Now, I do think that when that main line finally gets here, I think our tornado threat will start to wind down. It'll become more of a straight line wind threat, because as you notice in eastern Louisiana, we're not seeing any tornado warnings over there, nor are we seeing any in southwestern Mississippi either. So, Jason, my analysis, and feel free to chime in here, is that we are going to see that typical squall line effect where when the main line actually shows up, the tornado threat will decrease, the straight line wind threat will increase. Certainly,
I mean, you can still have embedded tornadoes within that main line, but this stuff ahead of it is what's most concerning, and that's what's happening in our area right now. It looks like our storm tracker is now in Chatham on the right-hand side of your screen, and then what we're watching here would be new thunderstorms that are just popping up here in Mobile County, and these have the potential to develop into much stronger thunderstorms. Right now they're just ordinary thunderstorms, but they could become supercell thunderstorms, and they can exhibit rotation because the parameters are going on in the atmosphere right now. We've got the instability from the heating of the day. It's still daylight outside. We had a rather warm afternoon. We've got an approaching low pressure area in front, so we've got the spin with height in the atmosphere. We've got a real deep trough in the upper levels, and that's creating the lift. We've got the moisture, all the ingredients in place for severe weather. So right now we are tracking a possible tornado coming across near Frankville and Silver Cross. It is tracking towards Coffeyville in Washington County, and it looks like it may technically, there's your possible tornado right there. It's technically going to clip a little piece of Choctaw County before it crosses the Tombigbee River, and I expect it to move like this. So it's going to end up near Tatlersville and near Coffeyville and cross 69. You've got US 84, which is a very highly traveled corridor between Grove Hill and over towards the Butler area in Choctaw County. And so Coffeyville there, you know, this is an area of denser population. Right now, the system is pulling away from Frankville, and when it gets over here into the Tombigbee River bottom, the population density is not as high here. But once it crosses the Tombigbee and gets on the southern end of Coffeyville, there are a lot of homes, neighborhoods here around the Coffeyville area that could be impacted by a possible tornado. Here is a look at it, and one of the things that's going on, we've got a very distinct area of rotation that is showing up with inbound, outbound velocity. And then you look to the north and everything turns purple. And what's going on is this area of rotation is a long ways away from the actual radar site, which is located at Mobile Regional Airport. So this thing is just essentially to the edge of the technology here, and there's still going to be a way that we can look at it and see the potential for rotation, but it's going to get more difficult. So Michael's cleaning some of that up now. We've got it getting very close to Coffeyville. Now the rotation area looks like it's pretty much right on top of the Tombigbee River. It's right on the dividing line of far southeastern Choctaw County, far northeastern Washington County, and western Clark County, and it's going to cross the Tombigbee River right near Tatlersville and come into the south side of Coffeyville, and it looks like this rotation area is pretty much going to go right over Coffeyville. We're also watching other areas too with our storm tracker truck. You can see we've got crews out in Sims right now. We've got crews in Washington County, down in the Chatham area with Lee Peck. Lots of different folks out there on the roadways, so if we do get damage, we're going to be able to bring you those pictures. But focusing in on the warning right now, Coffeyville 69, 84, Tatlersville rotation area right there. If you are in Frankville or Silver Cross, it looks like this rotation area is now past you. We mentioned a lot of communities like Yarbo, Frankville, Silver Cross. It looks like it will be just east of Bladen Springs and Bladen Springs State Park, but a lot of those areas to the south have been taken out of the warned area. That rotation area is past Bigby, it's past Kenton, it's past County Road 34, and it's pulled away from County Road 31, which leads up north of Bigby through Frankville, Silver Cross, and up towards Bladen Springs and Bladen Springs State Park. Now we've got the possible tornado that's going to be located. It really looks like it's drawing a bead on the Coffeyville area, and you can see that arrow going around. That's meteorologist Michael White. We've got team coverage here and keeping a very close eye on the situation to keep you safe this evening, as we're also getting the new information coming in from the National Weather Service. The tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock from our area, so we've got a large tornado watch for our area. We're expecting that this is not going to be the only warning that we're going to see, as possibly more storms will become tornadic. So far, this one down here that pulled out of the Fairford area is tracking up towards Wagerville is still a severe thunderstorm warning. So we've not seen that upgraded to a tornado warning. We will see the tornado warning to the north extended up into parts of Clark County as the circulation is now moving over Coffeyville. So the box here and what we're showing you on Fox 10 News here is also being reiterated by the National Weather Service that this warning is going to be continued, and it may be extended beyond 7:15 to cover the rest of northern Clark County. So Coffeyville right there in the rotation area, unfortunately, right there on top of Coffeyville. We're looking at our debris signature right now. We do not have anything that's overly well defined as far as potential debris, but this thing's getting out on the edge of the radar, so it's a little on the edge of the technical capabilities of the radar. And this is a strong and powerful radar. It's just located to the south over towards Mobile Regional Airport, so it's a long way to shoot those beams out. And the further you get up away from that radar site because of the curvature of the earth, the more you're looking in the midsection and the northern section of the storm. There's no question there's rotation in this thunderstorm aloft, and look at it right there, still very well defined with potential rotation. Each volume scan coming in has an ominous look to it here where 69 intersects 84. That is in the heart of Coffeyville. Most of the development for Coffeyville is going to be on the east side here of the Tombigbee River in Clark County, and that tornado warning is likely going to be extended as this moves up towards Campbell, towards McIntyre, and tracks to the north towards Bashai and Morven, and eventually potentially up towards Thomasville as it moves to the northeast. So we're looking at, you've got Thomasville right there, there's the Bashai community right there, and Morven, you've got 69, and then Michael's tracking this based on a forward speed of roughly 50 miles an hour. This is a very, very fast forward speed, and so that has it near Bashai by 7:28. Current time 7:05. So we've got it in Campbell at 7:21. We got it in the Bashai community by 7:28. We got it in Sweetwater by 7:36. And then once it gets up to Linden, that's going to be up into Marengo County. So that's going to be outside our area. We think that by about 7:45 or so, it's going to cross out. Well, really, once it gets past Bashai, Sweetwater, that and Nanofly are both up there as well. So it looks like we've got a new warning. And Michael, we were talking about this. So we were saying, hey, look, watch out. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Washington County, and we have seen a history of these severe thunderstorm warnings getting upgraded to tornado warnings. And in Washington County with our storm tracker right now, you can see we're looking back at that thunderstorm. So here's Chatham, and that's our storm tracker truck looking at the back edge of that thunderstorm that is possibly tornadic right there. And it's not in a position really to pick up the actual rotation from the tornado, but we are looking at the back edge of the thunderstorm. And this is now a tornado warning that has just been issued for the Hawthorne community. It's tracking up across Highway 43 and Hawthorne Road. It's going right for Wagerville. So Highway 56, where it intersects 43 in Wagerville, and then we have that continuing as a tornado warning for Jackson. It's going to eventually hold together potentially and go right up Highway 43, a very highly populated part of Clark County, and then tracking up towards Grove Hill. There are 2 tornado warnings for Clark County right now, and really for Washington and Clark counties right now, and there are 2 different areas of rotation. One is here, the other one is there. So one is over Coffeyville, the other one is over Hawthorne, and it's tracking up towards Jackson. Let's look for rotation inside this one here, this new warning that was just issued, and that's going to stay in effect until 7:45. So we've got a warning up right now for this cell here, which is rotating, and there is the Wagerville community, and we're going to keep an eye on it too with our storm tracker as we head off in that direction. We're not going to put the storm tracker in the path of that rotation, but we're going to have it on the back edge of it, and we're highlighting the rotation area just north of Hawthorne Road, and then it's going to be tracking up. It's going to get real close to Sunflower here, but basically come right across Highway 43, and it looks like Wagerville, which is right there. 56 and 43 intersecting. That's a pretty recognizable intersection. I believe there's a gas station right there on the corner, and then 43 leads up into Jackson, and essentially this rotation area is going to track right up Highway 43 as it moves up in the direction of Jackson, Alabama. So that's rotation area. And then rotation area number 2 is located here in Coffeyville, and it is still very well defined. So we've got rotation coming through Coffeyville. It's tracking up towards 154 in the McIntyre community. This is strong rotation here. Possible tornado coming through the Coffeyville area. 2 warnings up, and now it looks like both cells are quickly racing off into Clark County. This one is in Clark County now. The other one to the south down around Wagerville will be in Clark County shortly as it crosses the Tom-Bigby down around Jackson, Alabama. Multiple warnings right now, and to be expected based on the threat levels, Michael, that we saw as we've been monitoring the severe weather situation throughout. This has been the last couple of days we've been seeing this potential event unfolding.
Yeah, that's right, Jason. Ever since we kind of wrapped up Friday's severe weather coverage, we knew we were likely going to be under the gun on either Tuesday night, which is tonight, or possibly Wednesday morning, and it ended up being a Tuesday night event. But we didn't want to focus too much on it last week because we had to get through the hurdle of Friday's coverage first. So over the weekend is when we really started focusing intently on what was going to be happening tonight. And sure enough, everything's kind of playing up as we'd expected. You got a humid air mass, which is almost like pouring gasoline on a fire. It enhances the risk of severe weather coverage. We had a very warm day on the Gulf Coast. We ended up dealing with a pretty quiet weather day overall in the daytime, with the exception of a few showers that popped up late, but the south winds out of the Gulf were really intensifying. But as you look at the bigger picture, notice that the stabilization along the Gulf really kept things mostly quiet, and still is for the most part. But once you have the thunderstorms approaching the I-10 corridor, once they lift north of that zone, we'll zoom in a little bit tighter towards, for example, the thunderstorms that are in Mobile County right now, right by the regional airport. Once the storms cross Interstate 10 and they lose that destabilization, when they lose the stabilization of the atmosphere and they start to destabilize, that is when you start to see severe weather potential kicking in. Now, I want to emphasize the thunderstorms that are in West Mobile right now, they are not severe, but they have the potential as they keep lifting north up into Washington and Clark County, and they start moving into air masses that are even more unstable. They could go tornadic. And as I'm saying that, the Weather Service just mentioned mentioned that they are watching that storm moving over West Mobile very carefully. It's starting to slowly rotate, and it may be the next in line. So although that is not a tornado-warned storm right now, it has the potential to be. The one that's rolling right over where the airport's located that's where the weather service is, right at the airport. That's where the radar is, and it's moving over towards Sims. It's moving toward Moffett Road, moving past the South Alabama campus, also over into 8 Mile, and eventually into parts of Saraland. And we'll have to just be monitoring this as it's moving fast because it's booking a trip. All of these, and look at that, the severe thunderstorm warning was just issued for a huge chunk of Mobile County, Jason, from West Mobile at the regional airport, which is where the radar is located. And that warning box includes Saraland, Satsuma, Criolla, Chanchula, and it goes all the way up to Mount Vernon. I think technically it clips part of Baldwin County right around Stockton, but it is mostly for a huge chunk of Mobile County.
That's the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Mobile County until 8 o'clock right there for the cell that Michael was tracking, and we could see it beginning to come together here over Mobile Regional Airport. These storms, they start out as thunderstorms, then they become severe thunderstorms, and then the supercell becomes organized enough to produce a tornado. So really got to watch out in Mobile County right now. We may have the same situation here that we have going on right now in Clark County soon. Right now, Mobile Regional Airport, real heavy thunderstorm coming across. It's going to cross Moffett Road, head up through Sims. It's out near Schillinger's Road as well. And it's going to be tracking up to the north towards 158 and cross Highway 45. So we got a new severe thunderstorm that was just issued. Also want to mention that the tornado warning was continued through Coffeyville. So that we do not see the tornado warning for Coffeyville being allowed to expire. It's going to continue. This warning has now included just west to and included parts of Thomasville. So there are 2 active tornado warnings and 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings in our area right now. Most of the area is under a tornado watch, meaning conditions are favorable for tornadic development. You can see your scale right through here. You got the red is tornado warning, the yellow is tornado watch, the orange is severe thunderstorm warning. And we've got tornado warnings up for a cell near Wagerville, headed towards Jackson, and then we've got a tornado warning up for a cell right on top of Coffeyville right now, and that's going to track on up towards McIntyre and 154 and get real close to the Campbell community along 69. We just got a report of damage near Solitpa. I mentioned Solitpa Creek and the Solitpa community. Well, we got a report of damage there and in Coffeyville, according to the emergency management officer from Clark County, Roy Waite. So Roy Waite just passed along a damage report right now from Coffeyville and Solitpa. So that's going to be Coffeyville and then the east side of town. You've got 69. Solitpa is about right in through here. And so, you know, this rotation area, as we were watching it, and Michael's actually backing up the radar. He's rocking it a little bit, showing us where this thing was about 7:10. So about 4 minutes ago, had a possible rotation area there in Coffeyville. Now, that rotation area, which has had the history of producing damage in Coffeyville and Solitpa, is now to the north and east of Coffeyville, and it's up around McIntyre. And the warning is going to be continued all the way across parts of Clark County as it heads up in the direction of Thomasville. Now, it should be on the west side of Thomasville. So Thomasville's right there, and it's going to be up in through here. You've got the Bashai community. It's Bashai, you're included in this area of concern. Also Morven over here. So you've got Bashai and Morven right there, and Campbell. That's another community that's right in through here. And you've got rotation coming right up through here that has had the history of producing damage. Now, if this looks less impressive as far as the rotation that you're seeing there versus over, just keep in mind, we've got this thing out on the edge of the capability of the radar. So it's still possibly ongoing as a tornado. I treat it as such. It just had a history of producing damage in Coffeyville, but it's getting out on the edge of the radar's capability. But it is showing up as a rotation area there along 154 and Coffeyville. It is now cleared Coffeyville. It's moving northeast, and it looks like it'll be in Clark County for about another 15 minutes, and then it should move up into Choctaw County. We'll have to watch that too up to the north, up near the Linden area once it moves into Marengo County. That's going to be outside our area, but a lot of folks that are watching this in Thomasville, you know folks in Sweetwater, you know folks in Linden, and you tell them, you know, hey, you got a system coming. So there's the rotation area 1. Want to update you on this one. The rotation is not as strong with this one, but it is showing up, a possible tornado near Wagerville, and still under a warning for this one, a possible tornado that's going to cross out of Washington County and head across the Tombigbee River right near Jackson. It's going up Highway 43. You've got a possible tornado right here. It's going to be in effect until 7:45 for both Clark and Washington counties. Carson, you're also included in this. Wagerville definitely included in this. Highway 43, as it makes that bend, there's County Road, there's County Road 56. This is US Highway 43, and we've got that rotation area right there in Wagerville. And again, it's not nearly as well defined as what just went through Coffeyville, but we're still under a warning, and that is lifting up towards Jackson. Also want to check on Mobile, because Mobile, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning, and we had an area of rotation that we were watching. It was not a real strong area of rotation, but it was located right in the heart of town, and that's right here over Mobile Regional Airport. Probably going to have to get this cell to move a little further north away from the radar site itself. It's very pixelated there close to the radar dome, but we do expect to have a better vantage point as far as what's going on with rotation within that cell once it gets up here to about Moffett Road. So right there is the broad rotation that appears to be going on, and we've got that severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County for possible severe thunderstorm, which could ultimately get to the point where it becomes tornadic as it moves to the northeast across parts of Mobile County. So a lot of different things going on here this evening here on Fox 10 News. We've got our storm tracker trucks out. We've got news crews investigating these areas where we've had reports of damage. Of course, we're going to be bringing you the pictures hopefully on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m. if we're not in full-blown severe weather coverage at that point. And we're getting lightning, thunder, thunderstorms, heavy rain. Some of these have had the history of producing damage. Tornadoes and even some small hail. Damaging winds are also possible at any time. Severe thunderstorm warning up for Mobile County. This cell here pulling away from Mobile Regional Airport, and it's raining heavily. Bear Fork Road, out 158, and also out Lott Road. So there's Schillinger and Lott right there. 217 is Lott Road. 98 is Moffett Road and Schillinger. Heavy rainfall there. Could get wind gusts up around 60 miles per hour. We've got the Magnolia Grove Golf Course right here, and this is also over Howells Ferry Road too. So it's going to continue to move to the northeast up across 98, 217, Lott Road, 158, and Highway 45, all included in a severe thunderstorm warning presently in Mobile. Back up to Clark County. I want to get an update on what's happening here because we've got a possible tornado that has had a history of producing damage in the Salitpa and Coffeyville areas, and this is now pulling away from Coffeyville and tracking towards Tallahassee Springs Road and Tallahassee Springs. You can obviously see the lightning back there towards Sims too, that storm out near Howells Ferry. So getting into a severe thunderstorm there, and all thunderstorms can create lightning strikes, but there is a higher concentration in severe thunderstorms, no doubt about it. And we see that storm now with the rotation in it that's going to be pulling up near the Campbell area. It looks like it may be a little on the east side of Campbell with the actual area of rotation. Just had an update to that tornado warning for a possible tornado about 9 miles southeast of Putnam. So back into Clark County, got an update there, and also an update for the one to the south. So this is the warning that just was updated. There's Campbell, here's Tallahassee Springs. This warning is going to stay in effect until 7:45. I would expect that the rotation area may be out of the area by 7:45, but it's going to be close. It's got to cross Tallahassee Springs Road. It's going to get very close to the Glover community. And I do feel like that this rotation area is going to be just west of Thomasville. Thomasville, you are not included in the storm-based warning for this particular tornado warning. It's tracking up towards Bashai, your rotation area here on the east side of Campbell, and it's going to cross Tallahassee Springs Road and track up towards Bashai here as it moves to the north, and it's very close to Putnam as well. It should be about 9 miles southeast of Putnam. We just heard the lightning strike there at the Fox 10 News studios too. So this thing's unfolding across the area. I want to get an overview of the radar right now around the area, just in case you're not in one of these warned areas and you're concerned about the weather. You want to get a bigger picture as to what's going on. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County. We've got a lightning producing thunderstorm coming through Mobile right now. We've got a tornado warning for the Wagerville area tracking up towards Jackson. The rotation is not as strong with this cell coming through Jackson, but we do have a very prominent rotation with the one up in northern Clark County. We had a new report of damage. This is outside our area, Choctaw County around Toxie, reporting damage there. That's from a cell that was there earlier. We also want to see what's happening in Sims. We've had a severe thunderstorm warning issued for Sims and for Mobile County. We've had a lot of lightning, and we have Shelby Myers in our storm tracker right now in Sims. And Shelby, tell us what you're seeing in the Sims area.
Yeah, Jason, so we've been in the Walmart parking lot right in the center of Sims, and actually the rain just finally eased up, but I mean for the past 20-30 minutes or so, we've had some strong downpours happening out here. Definitely seeing some lightning. I'm just going to kind of circle the camera around a little bit. Again, we are in the parking lot. It's getting dark, of course, been dark, but the skies were dark even before the sun went down. And so this is what we're taking a look at. You see the lightning popping off there in your view. Again, we are in the storm tracker car. This is a camera we have on top of our car, and we are panning just at the sky here, and we've got the wipers on, but it still can be a little bit hard to see. But the best spot right here, we've been watching heavy rain, strong wind gust blowing that rain. You can see everything because there's not a lot of people here in this parking lot at Walmart. So you can see the wind just pushing the rain through the parking lot. Again, it just eased up, but it was falling very hard. Very loud rain, lightning again, and some wind out here. People are still out and about in Sims, eating at some of the local eateries around here, but we are still tracking, of course, lightning in the distance all around us. Nothing too serious. Like I said, we've been parked and the wind did blow, has been blowing, but not enough to really move our car or anything like that. So again, it just lightened up slightly, but we were seeing some heavy downpours here in Sims. We are in that Walmart parking lot. A lot of people come here, travel here, driving here, going shopping. Talked to some of the ladies inside Walmart. They said be safe. They're a little nervous about what's going on, asking us, you know, what you're saying, Jason, and we just told them, you know, we're watching it, we're tracking it. So again, this is what we're seeing. You're taking a live look here in Sims and in Mobile County. We drove around a little bit, and just the rain, heavy, but no signs of hail at this time, just lightning, rain, and a little bit of wind. I'm going to send it back to you, Jason.
Thanks, Shelby. Thanks for the update there. Glad to see no damage in that area with this severe thunderstorm that's coming up, now tracking up towards Lott Road and 158. Before we go to Stephen Moody in West Mobile, I want to take a quick look at what's going on with our rotation areas and the possible tornado in Clark County. Just want to update you on what's happening there, because still a potentially very serious situation here in Clark County. This one has had the history of producing damage. The rotation area is not as well defined up near Campbell as it was when it was over Coffeyville, but it's still showing up on radar. It's also getting a long ways away from the radar. But just to update you on this, we've got a rotation area up near Campbell. It's going to track up towards Bashai Road and continue to move to the north, and by about 7:35, 7:40, it's going to be completely out of the area. The other area of concern in Clark County is down around Jackson, Alabama, and it looks like that possible tornado warning has been discontinued. So we're just under a severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson, Alabama. We are not under a tornado warning at this time for the one near Jackson. So the Wagerville tornado has been allowed to expire. The one to the north of Coffeyville up around Campbell is continued, but it's almost out of the forecast area. Back down to the south, severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County. We just had a heavy thunderstorm move across West Mobile, and I'm going to send it over to Stephen Moody for an update there in West Mobile. Stephen, it looks like the severe thunderstorm is temporarily pulled away from your area, but we all know more is coming. What are you seeing out there right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we just made our way back from Mississippi, and coming through here, we definitely felt the impact, just lightning flashes everywhere and heavy bands of rain just getting through here. Now, it has calmed down. We are in Schillinger Road near Airport, and it has calmed down, but the effects have definitely slowed down drivers on the road. There's water on the road, some places even puddles. So drivers, if you're out here, make sure to use caution. And like you were just mentioning, just people are still out here, but they are being cautious because of that threat of that severe thunderstorm. Now, like I mentioned before, getting back across the state line from Mississippi and just running into that. It was dark when we got in here. Obviously, it's dark now, but right now, thankfully, traffic is flowing well. This rain has calmed down, but if you are driving here near Schillinger Road and Airport, use caution. Water is on the road following that that storm. So we're going to go ahead and send it back to you in the studio, and we'll have more updates if things do develop here in Mobile. Live in Mobile, Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Well, thanks, Stephen. And so just to update you, we still have one area of concern as a possible tornado going on right now in far northern Clark County. And we also have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in our area. Our Clark County warning is going to be close to Campbell and Vashti, and it's about to lift to the north and be out of Clark County. It's headed up into Marengo County, which will take it out of our forecast area. But there's still rotation showing up here near Vashti and Campbell and lifting across Vashti Road. It won't be long. That will be out of the forecast area, but we are not done because this is just the leading edge of some of the storms that are firing up, and we're starting to see some changes in the overall structure to the storm to our west. I'm going to send it over to meteorologist Michael White for an update on what we're seeing with these storms over towards the New Orleans area. Michael?
Thanks a lot, Jason. Well, here's the issue. You know, all these storms that have happened in our area right now are ahead of the main line. The main line still has not gotten here yet. The main line is still to the west of us around parts of New Orleans and Slidell. And as I bring back the watch warning map, notice that we're starting to see a few tornado warnings popping up. You're getting some right around New Orleans and some just to the north of Slidell. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we'll see any tornado warnings here when the main line blows through, but the possibility is certainly in play. And even if we don't see tornado warnings, we could certainly see straight line winds in excess of 60, possibly even 70 miles per hour. And when you get those straight line winds, they can easily knock down trees and power lines, which is one reason why we emphasize so much that you want to make sure you are not in a mobile home tonight. Make sure you're staying in a foundation-based building until all of the severe weather threat is over. It's expected to be done around midnight tonight for locations west of I-65, about 2 in the morning if you're east of I-65. But before you got to go to work and before the kids go to school tomorrow, all of this will be a distant memory, and the rest of the week is going to end up looking much better. Weather Service just sent us a note saying that they're keeping a close eye on the severe thunderstorm warning in Mobile County. It's continuing to show signs of broad rotation as it moves up toward Highway 45. So let's take a closer look at that thing. So West Mobile, for now, you're in the all clear from that particular storm cell, as is Sims, but it's now lifting its way up toward parts of Saraland, Cushla, Celeste Road, which is in the northern end of Saraland. Celeste Road has a ton of subdivisions on it, and Celeste Road also used as a shortcut up toward Citronelle. So Celeste Road, definitely Cushla, definitely US 45, definitely State Highway 158, all need to be off the roads, need to be staying in shelter, at least for now. Now, that is not a tornado-warned storm, but it's certainly one that the Weather Service is keeping a watchful eye on. Let's look at the possible velocity inside that storm. Now, the velocity, again, if you're new to the area or you're kind of unfamiliar with this terminology, we look for inbound and outbound wind. Well, green is wind blowing to the radar, red is wind blowing away from the radar. And right here, we have some harsh rotation, a very strong velocity around parts of US 45, right around Chickasaw. And that's moving right up toward State Highway Highway 158. That is exit 13 off I-65. That's right there by Saraland High School. A lot of people drive in that area. That's right over there by Shelton Beach Road. Celeste Road is exit 15 off Interstate 65. And although, again, that's not a tornado-warned storm, that particular storm's, that part of the storm is what the Weather Service is watching to see if they may have to upgrade the Mobile County warning to a tornado warning. As of now, they do not expect to have to do that, but you don't want to take any chances with this. If you're watching us in Saraland, you need to make sure you are in shelter, lowest level of your home, away from doors and windows. And as we look at the path of that rotation, it's going to basically be hugging Interstate 65, which means, and they just did,
43, yeah.
Okay, so that's they are switching that to a tornado warning, Jason, until 8:15.
Yeah, it looks like a tornado warning in effect right now for Baldwin County, Clark County, and Monroe County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 13 miles northeast of Calvert. And so that's going to be a little further up Highway 43.
Oh, so that's not this one.
Yeah, different area than we have here in Mobile County, but the one in Mobile County could turn in tornadic at any time. It's this cell right here, and it's going to be up near Dixie Landing at the Alabama River, up near Blackshear and Little River, and that's going to be located right on top of basically the Alabama River. This is going to be around T.J. Earl Road. If we zoom in a little bit, you'll see some of the roads pop up a little bit tighter, and they should pop up right in through there. So we've got Little River, we've got Dixie Landing, there's T.J. Earl Road, here is Turkey Creek Trail, this is Coughlin Road right there, and we do have a possible tornado in North Baldwin County. It's not going to be in Baldwin County long, and it's going to continue to track on off to the north towards Monroe County. So that warning right there is a new one that was just issued, and it's also going to include a very, very small portion of Clark County as it moves up close to Choctaw Bluff. So this thing's going to basically ride up the Alabama River, and it's going to be close to Alma and Gainestown. So we've got a new tornado warning that was just issued. We're also watching rotation, as Michael was telling you about. This is no doubt a severe thunderstorm in Mobile County. It could be upgraded to a tornado warning here. University of Mobile, Highway 158, and tracking north towards Callioca Road, Celeste Road, and Highway 45. We've got a possible rotation area, still called or named a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but that could be upgraded. So the Saraland area, an area of rotation, a rotating thunderstorm, which may become tornadic at any time, is moving north. There's no question it can be producing wind gusts of 60 miles an hour. So we do have a very, very strong thunderstorm, a severe thunderstorm going on. It has some rotation there. Further to the north, that's where we have the area where it is potentially tornadic, and that just popped up here in northern Baldwin County, up there around Dixie Landing and Little River area. That's going to track up. This squiggly black line is the border between Monroe County and Clark County. It is also the Alabama River. So you've got the Alabama River. It's got a lot of bends in it right through there before it merges with the Tombigbee. And then you have Choctaw Bluff and Alma and Gainestown. Those are some of the communities that are over on the Clark County side. And this is, looks like it's going to be to the west of Mineola. There's Mineola Church Road right there. Here is Chrysler, and I think the rotation area may be a little west of Chrysler, but you are definitely included in the warning. The northernmost, the Clark County one up around Bashai, that one's about done. So that one's likely going to be allowed to drop because it's out of the area. But this one, a new area of rotation that we're watching. Here's Little River and Chrysler, and our rotation area is really more over towards the Alabama River, and that's real close to Dixie Landing there. And looking at the pixels going towards and away from the radar, very close to each other, is how we see rotation. So what's the difference between regular radar and Doppler radar? Well, regular radar can tell us where there's rain coming out of a cloud, but Doppler radar can tell us which way the raindrop is being blown. So that's how we can see where we're getting rotation, where we have the radar showing that the wind is going one direction, and then very close by it's going in the complete and total opposite direction, the gate-to-gate shear, which indicates a possible tornado. There's a warning warning up for this one here. A rotating storm could be producing a tornado. There was a quick increase in the low-level rotation for far northern Baldwin County, and looking at it there up around the Monroe County, Clark County border, that's still where we're indicating that possible tornado presently. And Michael slowed it down a little bit here. We're watching the rotation areas. It comes up. There's Tensaw, Blackshear, Little River, up towards Chrysler, 59, coming up and along the Alabama River and lifting to the north very soon. This is going to be fully into Monroe County, if not right on the border between Monroe County and Clark County. It's essentially going to go right up the Alabama River bottom area here. So it's going to stay off on the west side of 59 as it moves up into Monroe County. So we got a new warning there, and that warning is going to stay in effect until 8:15. Current time 7:36. This warning, that red box right there, is going to stay in effect. We've got a new update. It looks like with this one here, I see a flashing right there. A severe thunderstorm warning is going to be continued. A considerable wind threat. 70-mile-per-hour winds are possible in this one. It is tracking towards Highway 43, currently located near Callioca Road, right there on the west side of Saraland, and that wind threat is going to move up across Celeste Road. You can see Celeste Road is going to run just like this out of Saraland and lead to the north up towards Citronelle, and that is Celeste Road there. And so we've got Sandy Oaks Drive, one of the roads right through there. We've got some subdivisions, a lot of development along Celeste Road. And so unfortunately, this severe thunderstorm is going to impact a lot of those houses. And you've got Roberts Road, and you've got Callioca Road, and then further to the north, you've got Chunchula Georgetown Road, which becomes Roberts Road, and then further to the north. So severe thunderstorm warning is up for Mobile County, and that's going to impact Axis, Salco, Celeste, and then further to the north and right up Highway 43. There was damage as unconfirmed to be a small amount of debris. I want to give you a report on this. We just got a damage report. Coffeyville, we were concerned about damage in Coffeyville, and we were reporting damage in Clark County, and then we just got an update from Roy Waite from the Baldwin County, or from the Clark County EMA, and it looks like that the damage is now unconfirmed on Highway 69. Just a little bit of debris, some limbs, that kind of thing. No tornado damage found in Clark County. So that is an update. Just wanted to pass that along. If you're concerned about friends or relatives around Coffeyville, we do not have any confirmation of damage here in the Coffeyville area. It was 7:08 p.m. that we had that rotation area coming through Coffeyville. Now we're starting to look at things improving for that area. Fortunately, no damage, and now about 30 minutes later, that cell is lifted to the north on up into Marengo County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Mobile County. This, along with a lot of the cells that have been occurring in our area tonight, has the potential to turn tornadic at any time, because these severe thunderstorms, as they gain latitude, get further to the north, get further and further away from the Gulf, they're getting an area that has more instability and more rotation, and they could form up into tornadoes. And we had that brief rotation area forming up that prompted the tornado warning. Now we're looking at that area, which is moving up the Alabama River. There is an active tornado warning in our area presently. It looks like that rotation area is now cleared Baldwin County, and it's in the process of working up the Alabama River between Monroe County and Clark County as it moves on off towards the north. Let's check this one here, Michael, for rotation, and we are still seeing some rotation, but it is broad. So when the rotation is tight, it is more concerning. When it's broad, it is more likely to produce straight line winds or a severe thunderstorm. It is prominent rotation enough to keep the warning up, and we could easily see this thing tighten back up at any time, but the rotation area is showing near Chrysler and up County Road 1 and County Road 8 and right over the Alabama River, tracking towards Choctaw Bluff and Gainestown. We do have a possible tornado occurring there. So the red box is showing us where we have the possible tornado, and then the track with a forward speed at about 40 miles an hour would have it near Gainestown by 7:53. Gainestown's one of the communities that I mentioned to you. Gainestown's actually over on the Clark County side of the Alabama River. And so we've got our rotation area going up towards Fountain, Gainestown. It's tracking up towards Highway 84 as it lifts towards the north. That is our one current tornado warning that's in effect for our area, and I do like that the rotation area looks a little bit more broad there. There's technically going to be a warning up for northern Clark County until 7:45, but the rotation area that prompted that one is now out of Clark County, so we're looking better temporarily there. We also have some really nasty cells to the west of us over towards Picayune and Diamond Head here north of Slidell, up near 11 and Highway 11 and 59. We do have a tornado warning up here. Now that is not in our area, okay? This is over towards Mississippi, but this is gives you an idea of what's to come. We still have more severe weather that will roll in later. We're getting the initial stuff here, and then we have the main line back here. It's going to be a long time before all this stuff settles down. So we're going to be with you here on Fox 10 News throughout the evening with team coverage. We're not going anywhere. We're likely going to be breaking into programming most of the evening, especially as long as we're seeing active tornado warnings in our area. And we're going to be closely monitoring the situation as a team. We've got news crews out. Jackson, Alabama, Moffett Road, Sims, West Mobile, all throughout the area. We have folks that are manning the phones, getting damage reports, relaying to us. We have our news crews in place, and then team coverage. Meteorologist Michael White here. I'm here as well, and we're going to keep a close eye on this weather situation. There is a tornado watch up, and I also want to mention good news here. The tornado warning was just canceled for Clark County and Monroe County. So right now, with the exception of this one warning, which is up into northern Clark County, and really the rotation area is now out of the area, we're not looking at areas of rotation or areas of concern presently. The only real concern we have is the possibility of damaging winds on Celeste Road and Highway 43 from a severe thunderstorm that's going on along Interstate 65, and that's tracking up into northern Mobile County. And other than this one right through here, things are temporarily looking better for the Gulf Coast. Now, we know that's temporary because the whole area is under tornado watch. We've got that level 3 and level 4 risk zone for the potential of severe weather, and there's still a nasty squall line, which was not looking tornadic earlier today. Now it's becoming more tornadic to the west of us as it's approaching. So it's going to be a little while before that comes through. And we also have a report from Saraland here. We showed you the severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in effect from Celeste Road. Well, we've got a news crew up there in Saraland right now, and this thing is putting on a lightning show right now. There is no doubt about it. A ton of lightning strikes. We've got a high concentration of lightning strikes in the Saraland area as our crew is tracking to the north, either up 65 or up Celeste Road. So we're going right up into the back of that severe thunderstorm, and that severe thunderstorm is moving about as fast as our storm tracker truck would be moving right now as it's headed to the north up into the Saraland area. A lot of lightning going on right now with a severe thunderstorm rocking through Mobile County. We have the possibility of wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour and hail around 3/4 of an inch in diameter for that possible severe thunderstorm warning. Other than that, now we're pretty much clear of tornado warnings in our area. There still may be technically a warning in effect for Clark County for about the next 50 seconds, but that rotation area has tracked on up above Thomasville here, and we'll be lifting up soon up into Choctaw County. So the only active warning we have going on right now essentially is this severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County, for southern Washington County, and for parts of Baldwin County. We've got a storm-based warning right there in orange and a severe thunderstorm that's lifting to the north through Mobile County. And Michael, have you seen any signs of rotation with this one here as it's moving across Mobile County?
At this point, no, Jason. I mean, we were seeing what looked like rotation earlier. We got a little sign of trouble right by Salco and Axis and Criolla, but not enough for there to be a tornado warning. So that's likely a straight line wind threat, but we have still seen considerable winds of upwards of 70 miles an hour. Bear in mind, that's practically hurricane force winds, straight line, that are rocking their way around Salco and Axis, up US 43 and Salco Road. And all of that is just going to be continuing to march its way to the north and to the east at roughly 40 miles per hour. So that is the only active warning that we got in our area right now. The tornado warning that was in North Clark County dropped off at 7:45, the one that was around Vashti. We have the tornado watch that's in play till 11. Likely we'll see some extensions with that, since that's going to be expiring in roughly the next 3 hours. And we have tornado warnings around parts of New Orleans and north of Slidell. Heard from our digital department that there were reports of a tornado in the New Orleans area. They're trying to get us some video of that to show a little later on this evening. But that is what we're going to be watching, is that main line of storms that is still to the west of us, that is actually just now past New Orleans, but is getting closer toward Biloxi, getting closer toward Pascagoula and Hurley. Once you're on the back edge of that main line, which I'll highlight, is this right here. This is the main line of storms. Once you're to the west of that line, your severe weather threat is done. It's just going to be a while in our area until everyone is on the back edge of that line. But once you are, the weather is going to turn much more pleasant for tomorrow, much more pleasant for the rest of the week. And more importantly, Jason, it looks like the weather is going to be looking decent all the way into the upcoming weekend. We just have to get through the storms that are firing off ahead of the line and then the main line itself.
Yeah, that main line is not a cohesive squall line, which is actually bad. It's cellular in nature, so that will be problematic once it gets here. All right, right now, only one area of concern, a severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County, tracking to the northeast. We are not under any active tornado warnings presently. We're going to go back to programming for the time being, but as soon as we see any rotation, any problems, anything that looks especially troublesome, we're going to break in and let you know right here. And of course, we're going to have full coverage on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m.